Learning from your mistakes with DCF and understanding that you pay for what you get on your DCF case in Massachusetts. Learning from your mistakes on a DCF case and understanding you pay for what you get in a Massachusetts DCF case is just so true. Recently I had a client sit across from me and tell me about how he cheaped out, how he hired the cheapest person that he could find. He hired this person to help his family. And this person, being a mandated reporter, heard something he didn't like. God only knows this person was trained or not trained. But what I know is that on a whole roster of people, this guy picked the one that was the cheapest of all of them, price-wise. And what he thought he was getting was a bargain cost, was really led to false allegations being filed against him by an inexperienced and inattendant person who was improperly and inadequately trained, didn't have much of a background or experience, and going cheap cost this man and his family. So now he's fighting allegations of child abuse against DCF. So what does he do? He goes looking after the allegations of supporter because he's a do-it-yourselfer again, and he got burnt. He burnt himself, his wife, and his children. And all of a sudden he's got a supported decision, which is going to cost him even more money to file an appeal to a fair hearing rather than spending the money up front. He didn't learn from hiring a cheap person, and he didn't learn to go hire a lawyer either. And so now he's in the thick and thin of it. He's got an assessment going on for months and months and months. And what's he do? He hires the cheapest lawyer he can find, who doesn't have any experience, skill, training, or knowledge about DCF. He hired a lawyer, he told his wife. But the lawyer didn't have a clue. And the lawyer never filed for a fair hearing, which burnt him, which forever forecloses rights to a fair hearing and the ability to appeal the decision, which if he'd paid money up front, he'd have been able to unsupport, more than likely, if he hired the right lawyer. But he didn't do it. So what did he do? He never learned by his mistakes. He had a cheap person in the beginning. They cost him big time by filing against him, mandated reporter. And then he didn't hire a proper lawyer who specialized in DCF law. He went and hired some cheap lawyer who gave him the cheapest price. You pay for what you get. It's that simple. You put 5 cents into the bank, you get 5 cents back for interest. It's no different. You cheap out, you buy something cheap, you get back the same thing, a cheap result. But it's really hard to tell people that. They don't want to hear it because they want a bargain basement, everything. But when it comes to protecting your children and your family, you can't go bargain basement. And when you do, you're not respecting yourself or your loved ones. And you're showing no respect for yourself at all. And you're leaving the barn door wide open to get hurt and harmed. And that's just an awful ending. Don't cheap out. Learn by your mistakes. Go hire the best you can. If you're gonna fight, go fight. Spend good money for good result. Don't spend good money for a bad result. That makes no sense at all.